So Pam, when you're feeding on someone, how do you not kill him?
It's in the heartbeat. You feel it in the blood.
Yeah?
And when it slows, you stop.
Walking through the colors filled pictures and reflections in the rain.
Because she is so smart, she knows when to keep her mouth shut. Whereas I am the opposite. I am to say the wrong thing at the wrong time.
I should have been a boy. I think I am a boy, basically. I don't know.
Today, Kristin Bauer from True Blood on HBO and her husband, singer Abri van Straten are here. And then, they've been married 56 years and they haven't killed each other yet. Hank and Lola Gillebaard are here. They're authors of Sleeping with Your Enemy. And later in the show, Bonnie-Jill Laflin, the first and only female scout in the NBA. She works for the Lakers. But up first, Kristin Bauer and Abri van Straten. Pleasure to have you both here today.
Hi, yes.
And it's a nice surprise. I thought we might have one, but we have both, the husband and wife.
Well, I'm the driver.
You're the driver?
Mm-hmm.
Ah. So when you're not the actress, you're the driver, huh?
Yes, yes.
Welcome to Hollywood. And I should say, though, you tracked this guy down, if I may say so, through his music. Is that why you're both sitting here?
I did. I was at the doctor's office and there was one chair open and his CD with the Lemmings was sitting on it. And I said, is this someone's CD? And the lady next to me went on and on and on about the Lemmings and Abri, and I went and got the CD at iTunes. And to make a long story short, I've been single for too long. And I sent him, his manager, an email through MySpace and asked him out. And he happened to be, he's from South Africa, and he happened to be in LA for another 3 weeks. And so we went to coffee, and that was January 14, 2 years ago.
Wow, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
So, you want to tell me from your side what happened?
Yeah, a little different. A little different. I spent 3 weeks composing that email.
Well, we were in the States on tour from Africa, and the tour ended, and I just had a feeling that I needed to go back to LA for no rhyme or reason. So I was literally sitting at a coffee shop in LA going, "What's up, universe?" And then one Saturday morning, I get a phone call.
Because I kept sending an email to the manager, and he said he was forwarding it. Well, he doesn't do emails, so yeah. So finally, I'm like, well, is he saying no, or does he not get email? And so then I said, well, just send. Okay, give me my phone number. And then he sent me his number, and I picked up the phone and dialed, but then realized I hadn't rehearsed. So it was this exceedingly awkward phone call, and it was totally embarrassing, and he saved me and just cut me off and said, I'll tell you how this is going to go. And I was like, oh, okay. And he said, you're going to come meet me for coffee. And I said, you're right.
And had you seen the show, or did you know anything about it?
He'd never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Well, this has a happier ending than some internet dating stories you hear about,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I had 2 of those once in my life. That was plenty. Yeah, this is much
that's
better.
right. I mean, sometimes you're a little bit on edge, right? It's like,
yeah.
Who is this, you know?
Well, yeah, and you don't know who you're going to meet. I mean, I've been listening to his CD way too much, and it's really romantic music, and his voice is beautiful, and his picture was on the front, so I had this whole idea of who he was, but we hit it off really well. We sat at that coffee shop, we talked for 12 hours, and met again a few days later, and we're married 6 months later, so.
Yeah, congratulations both.
I know.
And since your music captivates Hollywood actresses, but tell me about you with the Lemmings, and then now you have your own solo album as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah, got both here. So we'll have you sing for, or you want to play for us, whatever you want to do. But we want to hear what made her marry you.
Boy.
This is like the dating game, but
No
it's too late.
pressure,
I'm too late though.
yeah.
This is a song of the new album, which I wrote for her, called Monet. Father's night. tears did you time it with two the shades of summer gone, and it won't be long, dear Lord. Now you're gonna find, now you're gonna find your way back. Now you're walking through the colors filled pictures and reflections in the rain, shades of all your yesterdays and broken melodies, impressions that remain in a painting by Monet. Violet turns to blue, gentle hues for your dreams, and echoes of a song linger on her memory. And now you're gonna find your way. Now you're gonna find your way back. Now you're walking through the colors filled pictures in your mind, reflections in the rain, and shades of all your yesterdays and broken melodies, impressions that remain in a painting by the name of the girl, the pale blue eyes. Do you remember her? She used to smile, and walking through the colors filled pictures in your mind, reflections in the rain, shades of all your yesterdays and broken impressions that remain in a painting by
All right. Your own song, how was that?
I know, isn't that nice?
Now this is for her, not for the vampire, right? You have a vampire song too?
He does, actually.
You do have.
He does. What is it? Sleepless, I always think of.
she's very, it amuses me endlessly to watch True Blood because she's very sweet in real life. So you watch this mean, sarcastic vampire sitting next to me on the couch. She's very sweet girl.
You're just singing the love songs and she goes to bite the net.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, we're almost out of time. I wish we had more time for you both today.
No, that's all right. Thanks for having us. Yeah.
But is there anything you want to tell us quickly about the show in our final second, what that mean vampire is up to?
Yeah, well, we're shooting right now as we speak, so it's quite fun, and I can't say anything or I'll, at risk of losing my job. But it's an unbelievable joy to work on. It's an incredible show.
And then you come home to the skies and music.
I come home to that, so that's pretty much why I'm married. I hear that all day.
Abri van Straten, Sunlight and Shadows.
Yeah.
Thanks to both. It was a real pleasure.
Yes.
Good luck with the album and much continued success.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back. And we are back. And they've been married for 56 years and they haven't killed each other yet. Hank and Lola Gillebaard are here. They're authors of Sleeping with Your Enemy. Pleasure to meet you both.
Nice meeting you.
I enjoyed our phone conversation the other day. So how do you do it 56 years in a day when most marriages last about 3 days? How do you make it to 56 years?
How do we do it?
Well, keep your mouth shut.
Hank's favorite thing is to say that I know when not to react.
Not to react.
Yeah, and she tells me to be quiet.
So be quiet and don't react.
Enough, yeah.
A lot of silence around the house.
No, not really. She's very playful, fortunate, and so am I. We have a lot of fun. We haven't liked each other most of the time. In fact, all the time.
Oh, yeah, but you know, if you like each other every minute, it would be dull. You gotta have a
little bit of,
yeah.
well, I don't want to get in the way because they're your principles, but I know you had some different points for how you do it successfully. But you kind of touched on already some of them, like laughter.
Laughter's a great thing. I put that number one. And that is a form of communication that has to keep going on and on. And when you stop communicating, be quiet.
People talk too much.
That's right, right. Most people talk too much.
Well, with me, I'm from Holland. I came to this country and I was a pilot instructor over the Air Force. And I met this young lady. And I loved girls. Always had a lot of fun with them. When I met her, she was different. And she looked at me like I was from outer space. And I couldn't believe one could be so innocent and so lovely and so likable. And I fell for her. And I loved her every day since.
So what was it about him that attracted you, or did you think he was from outer space?
I mean, no matter what happened the rest of my life, I would never get bored. And I was absolutely right.
Now, you're also upfront about the fact, well, you talk about laughter, and I can tell you two are definitely a comedy troupe in yourselves, I think. But you talk about fighting fair, and the fact that it's not always easy. So how do you fight what's the right way to fight with your marriage, or argue, or whatever the phrase is?
Well, we have different ways. I believe in the red nose attitude, and I have a lot of red noses around the house. So.
No, wait. Red nose?
Red nose attitude.
Oh.
R-N-A.
Yeah,
And no, I didn't bring one with me, so just visualize. But anyway, so when Hank he could talk himself out of anything. So when I'm upset with him, I put the red nose on it. That means I'm really ticked off, but I don't want to talk about it yet because I got to get my argument together. And it's interesting, if I look in the mirror, because I forget I have it on, it makes me laugh. And I'm still mad, but I'm much more logical about why I'm angry and able to discuss it easier. And when he's angry with me, what do you do?
Well, very little. I can't get mad with him, not really. Sometimes I get peeved, but I cannot say exactly what, why, or, because she is so smart. She knows when to keep her mouth shut. Whereas I am the opposite. I have to say the wrong thing at the wrong time, which will make it worse. So I'll learn from her, it's best to keep your mouth shut. And it works.
Now, it seems to me a lot of people obviously don't have that kind of restraint, and maybe they're just married to the wrong person, but it is more getting down in the mud and saying everything you can think of, but that doesn't really tend to preserve a marriage, does it?
Well, you can say everything you're thinking, but not when you're thinking it. First you gotta cool down, laugh a little, and then you can talk about it. So all that emotion is not there right now. So everybody needs some get away from it time before they can start being logical.
Okay. My father and mother fought almost every other day. They argued, and my mother would cry and upset, and I swore I was never going to get married. And there was a lot of fighting and arguing. So consequently, my sister and I were arguing. So I was living in Holland at the time, and I went into the Air Force and came to this country. And I met her. I was a flight instructor at the time. And it was fascinating the way she talked. She had that southern accent, which I found very interesting. And it's like I did with every girl every day to try to snow her, give her lamp bulbs, so I'd get somewhere. And she would just look at me and laugh and said, "You're so beautiful." And but the way she said it in such a way that you couldn't get angry. And gradually, I just fell in like first. And then I fell in love literally. And I love women.
We skipped over the lust part.
Well, I wouldn't do that.
I read that part of the book, by the way.
Well, that's true. Well, I can't say on what I really want to say.
Well, you probably could, but you know.
Well, she was a fantastic discovery. And,
Oh, that's a nice way to put it, Hank. That's very nice.
And,
I'm going to write that down.
Put it on a t-shirt.
That's right. A nice discovery. I like that
But
very
I
much.
tell you, I've been, I was in Holland and over here, and I was a pilot, and I like women, and lots of them. And so to all of a sudden, you find somebody that just caught me off guard. And I fell first in like, and then I fell in love. I'd never been in love before. And I love to see her again. And she has one gift that few women have. As I told you, my mom and father fought all the time. And so consequently, my sister and I argued all the time. She will not fight. She keeps her mouth shut. Or she tells me to go fly a kite and turns around and walks away. And that's about it. And so it is very hard to argue with her because she knows when not to argue. And then when it's over, then you sound like an idiot if you want to start to do something.
Yeah, sometimes when it's really good to walk out, just leave.
Get
Thank
away.
goodness I drive.
Go for a long drive.
Yeah, just go for a long drive.
I'm sorry, we're almost out of time, but in our last 10 seconds, what's the biggest mistake most people make? Or what shouldn't they do? Or what should they do? I don't know. You tell me. I don't know.
Well, I read something just the other day that most people who are happy don't expect to be happy all the time. But people who are unhappy think they should be happy all the time. And I think that's the biggest mistake. A happy marriage is wonderful, but that doesn't mean it's happy all the time. That's impossible.
And I think with a lot of marriages, people are unhappy a lot of the time. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Paul. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Greg. Enjoyed it so much.
We'll be right back. And we are back. Joining me now is Bonnie-Jill Laflin. Great to meet you, Bonnie.
Nice to meet
What
you.
is your the first and only female scout for the NBA and working for the Lakers in particular?
Yes, the world champion Los Angeles Lakers. Hopefully 3-peat.
Well, you know, I was in Chicago with the Bulls actually during the
Okay.
3-peat. Did they go for the
MJ.
4-peat? I forget. We were going for the
Pippen
4-peat.
and Harper and all those guys, yeah.
Not to date myself too much there, but so how does a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, which you were, become the only female scout in the NBA?
I was a sports broadcaster for many years, covering the Lakers for almost 5 years for KCAL, KCBS, and ESPN. And then Phil Jackson and Mitch Kupchak wanted to try out a female. They knew I did a triangle. They knew the fundamentals and what they wanted out of some players, so they tried me out for a year and then signed me to a 5-year contract after that.
Well, that's interesting. So you came out from the reporting side and
Yes.
kind of...
Transitioned into that, the basketball operations.
Now, but there are a couple of scouts that for the Lakers. You're the only female.
We have 10, but I'm the only female in
There
the
are
whole,
10.
the whole NBA, yes.
And how does that work then? You're out in the field all the time looking for people? Or
Yeah,
how
we
do
go
you-
to different, tournaments. I do Pac-10 and Big 12. So we go to those conferences and look for players and go back and have your scouting reports and talk about it. When the draft comes up, we all have many, many meetings and figure out who we're going to draft. And usually we're on the low end because we always usually do so well. So we don't draft too high, but coming up this year, we're going to have some better picks.
And I'm curious, I mean, how were you, well, okay, so you have a broadcasting background and so people knew who you were, but how were you accepted by the net? Because I was just talking to actually holding on the plane the other day, it was the first, something in insurance, one of the first female salespeople, and she said some of the guys were nicer to her because she was a woman, and some of the guys were just meaner to her and made it clear they didn't want her around because she was a woman.
Yeah, you kind of get both sides, and for me, I've always been that person who's kind of took a different path. So, of course, a typical scout doesn't come from a cheerleading background or broadcasting background. I've been at Max and FHM, all those magazines, so it's a total different background. So, some guys, go into scouting meetings and they're like looking at my Max magazine and then close it up when I come in, and then I'm like, oh, they want to sign that? you know, some funny stuff like that. But then you've got the guys who've been scouting since, like I said, the dinosaur ages. So they're very old school, and having someone like me, they're like, oh, we're not sure. And then once they knew my knowledge and, you know, became more credible, they basically were like, you're one of us. You know, and that's how it's kind of become. But being a woman, especially, you know, if you're a pretty woman, they think you don't know sports, and that you're not credible, and that it's always kind of jumping hurdles every day.
And so in addition to this, though, you're actually very involved with some charities and also the USO. You've gone over to
Yes,
Iraq.
I actually formed my own 501c3, Hounds and Heroes, which my passion is animals, animal welfare, and supporting the troops. I've been to Iraq and Afghanistan 7 times.
7 times.
And 20 USO tours altogether, from Germany to the Bosnians, I mean, everywhere you can think of. I've been supporting our soldiers over there.
What is that like being over?
It's probably the most amazing experience of my life. I mean, literally, hands down. I mean, you go over there, and you know, people, you know, they read into the media what they see, and it's nothing like being over there. Our guys are doing so much over there. And for me, coming from a military background, my whole family's military.
Oh.
My grandfather was World War II, Silver Star recipient of Purple Heart. My grandfather was as well. My uncle was a career Marine in Vietnam. So it's like for me to be able to go over there and to say thank you to these guys for everything they're doing for us means the world. And it's bringing a piece of America to them, and they love it.
And you also grew up, besides the military background, but also your father was very much into sports.
Exactly, yes. I should have been a boy. I think I am a boy, basically. I don't know. But I mean, I was one of those little girls that was always with Dad, and he's a big, huge sports person, and he had bodyguard work for a lot of different athletes growing up, and so he just basically, I was the, you know, one who was going to be in sports. And
He's pretty excited. That's probably what he wanted his son to do, right? Was become the scout for the Lakers. So.
Yeah, exactly. And so, you know, it's something I've always had a passion for. And when I was little, I would read the sporting page every day. I want to know what was going on in sports and how fast that guy ran the 40 and what college you go to do, and you know, everything. And my dad knew eventually this would be something that was going to be a part of my life. And now I'm making money and having fun, and I love it.
So what does it take to be on the Lakers? What are you looking for out there?
Well, it depends each year. We're always looking for a big, you know, there's always we always want to find that Shaquille O'Neal guy, you know, so we luckily have Andrew Bynum, you know, and so we're always looking for a big, you always want someone to back up, and then you always want, you know, a good guard, you know, and Phil likes a certain type of guard. He likes big guards, tall guards. You have to have a really high basketball IQ to be in the Lakers organization, because we run the triangle, which you can't be a dummy and just be playing street ball to run that offense. So there's a lot of different factors that come into play.
And how young do you recruit, or how young do you start looking?
Well, they have to have 1 year eligibility. Before they didn't, you know, like Kobe and a lot of different players went straight into the NBA from high school, but now you have to have 1 year. So but there's a lot of different tournaments, like Nike tournaments and this and that, when you see kids from, you know, a young age, because now
they like to maybe that's somebody you want to keep an eye on.
Yeah, exactly. You hear about these kids that are, you know, 14, 15 years old that are going to end up being, you know, big prospect.
And how does it really pan out? Because you hear, we did a show once on Sports Rage, or, you know, the parents actually push their kids into sports, and, you know, I mean, like, you know, it's probably very few make the Lakers, I guess is what I'm trying to say, you know?
I mean, there's always, you know, you just wonder if the guy, the player, the kid, has as much drive as the parents do. You know, sometimes they get burnt out. You know, you got these little kids that are playing t-ball and basketball, and the kids they don't enjoy it, but, you know, all the parents do. So, you know, anything, it's not just having the talent, it's having the drive and the passion and the heart.
And do you ever, well, this is a terrible question, isn't it? But do you ever get it wrong? Like, when you think somebody's going to be great, and then you hire them?
Oh, that happens all the time. You scout players that you think are going to be great, and they don't transition well into the NBA from college. It happens all the time. Or they can't get our offense. You know, running the triangle is hard, and so the guys can never get our triangle. So they have to go and play for other team.
Well, since this is predominantly a guy's world still.
It is in the men's world, yeah.
And you know, you hear so much about sexual harassment and everything these couple of days. You know, how do you deal with that kind of thing? I mean, you touched on it a little bit earlier, but are you just taking it in stride, or how do you,
do you
get a lot of...
And for me, I'm just so used to being always around guys, and I work just as hard, if not harder, because I need to always prove myself. And the most important thing is being incredible, being professional, you know, bring to the table what you need to when it comes to business, and then, you know, when you go like that and cross the line, and just, you know that you're there doing a certain job, and you want to execute it, make sure you do it professionally, always.
So now, where do you go from here? I guess I'm wondering, final minute. Do you want to go on to become a what would be the career path then after the scout?
Well, I'm still doing my broadcasting and then doing a lot of motivational speaking out for women, you know, empowering women that doesn't matter who you are, what you do, where you came from, you can do anything and achieve anything like I did. And my ultimate goal is to own my own team.
I wonder, so I was going to say.
Yeah, I'd like to own my own team eventually.
And I bet you'll do the scouting yourself.
Yeah, and run the team and own it and everything, yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks so much,
I really
we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time.